All right, Jeremy, I want to talk about something. Can you guess what it is?
Is it Anchor?
You got that right. I gotta tell you why Anchor is really awesome. First of all, it's a free creation tool that allows us to record and edit, and we can do it through our phone or our computers.
Oh yeah, we've been using Anchor to help distribute our podcast. So now it's on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Overcast, Google Podcasts, all those good stuff.
Yeah, man, we're everywhere. That's why we have listeners from Germany and Kenya, and we can make bank out of this podcast with no minimum listenership, thanks to Anchor.
You're right. It is everything I need to make a podcast. And it's in one place.
What's that place?
It's Anchor, of course. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started if you want to be just like us. Anchor, you know this.
I'm your host, Clint, and welcome to Know This Trivia.
Know this?
And for this episode, we have Jeremy answering questions. Hey, Jeremy.
It's your boy.
All right. So, Jeremy, the category for today is, you'll never guess it. Can you guess what?
You'll never guess it, but guess anyways. What the heck is this?
Okay. So, the category for today is the man, the legend, the hairy
John Cena.
No. Bigfoot.
Oh, okay. All right.
I don't know if there's ever going to be a trivia game night about Bigfoot, but this could be helpful.
I could see it. I could see, a little bit of information, but like it's so wishy-washy, there's no definitive Bigfoot answers. So we'll see.
Oh, we'll get to it.
All right, I'm ready.
So what do you know about the Bigfoot, man? Or big feet is the plural term for Bigfoot, actually. So that's
though?
nice. It is.
I don't think
It's
so.
Big Feet, the family
No,
of
that's
Bigfoot.
dumb. I'm not a cryptozoologist, but that is some dumb crap right there.
That is what I've heard from a couple websites is Big Feet.
I feel like if it's not actually the original wording, I feel like they should just have like a different plural for it. Like Bigfoot should just be like, there's a lot of Bigfoot. There should be a lot of Bigfoots. It's like a computer mouse. There is a normal animal mouse, but a computer mouse, is this supposed to be called a lot of computer mice? I don't really know. It doesn't feel right. I feel like there should just be a lot of mouses. That's why I think Big Feet is a little bit of a weird name, but there's not a hill I'm gonna die on. So
Okay. Well, what would you call like a group of Bigfoot then? Like a
Bigfoots.
Oh, okay.
Put an S at the end.
I don't know, because like a group of crows is like a murder of crows.
Oh,
And then
it's a conspiracy of Bigfoots.
Ooh, I like that. That should be a thing. Okay.
But yeah, so I know that no one really has ever officially documented a Bigfoot. So it's like kind of like a legendary character that no one really knows if it exists or not. And I guess it's called Bigfoot because the tracks that they found were like really big feet, I guess.
We'll get to it.
I mean, that's all I can think about. I don't really know anything else because for all I know, it's fake.
Well, we'll get to it.
All right. We're going to get to everything apparently.
Yes,
Clearly.
we're gonna touch up on everything hairy, every piece of hair on this Bigfoot.
All right.
For those who are new, this whole episode is going to be all about Bigfoot. This episode is going to be split into 2 rounds. The first round, I'm going to ask Jeremy some fast-paced questions about Bigfoot. And then in the second round, after a little break, I'm going to ask Jeremy some long-form questions and some thought-provoking questions that's going to get him thinking about if Bigfoot is real or not. So are you ready, Jeremy?
Bigfoot's not real. I'm saying it right now. We would have seen him by now.
We'll get to it.
I put my foot down. I'm going to be that meme where there's a sign in front of me. Bigfoot's not real. Change my mind.
Oh, God. All right. So let's get into the first round. And let's get to our first question about Bigfoot. So Bigfoot, or known also as the Sasquatch, that's also his name, the Sasquatch. But for our purposes, we're going to call him Bigfoot for the rest of the episode, or her. We don't know. We're not going to assign gender here. But there's a lot of actually other names for Bigfoot across the United States. So my first question is, what do you think are the other names for Bigfoot?
Across the U.S.?
Across the U.S.
Because I kind of feel like Yeti is pretty much like Bigfoot with like white hair. you know?
Uh-huh.
But from what I know, Yeti is like from the Himalayas or something. So that's not across the US.
No. Is
I'm gonna
Yeti
say it
also
anyways.
the abomin what is it?
Oh,
The
abominable, abdominal,
I can't say it.
abominable
Abomination?
snowman.
Is it that one? Is that the Yeti too?
I think it's the same thing. I think that's the same
Okay.
thing. They're all fake, so it doesn't even matter.
All right.
Um,
What do you think people will just name a big hairy thing that's kind of looks like a monkey, kind of like a bear?
the gorilla man
Okay.
and the forest beast
Uh-huh.
and the hairy boy,
Okay.
hairy man, Mr. Hairs.
You can
I
stop,
feel like I've definitely heard of more names, but I can't think of a single one right now. So I'm blanking.
Yeah. You're off your game
Sasquatch.
today. Okay. We already talked about Sasquatch. All right. So you didn't get any of them, but that's all right.
God.
We're gonna name them one by one. So in Florida, this includes Florida.
It's just another person in Florida. It's whatever.
It's just a gator.
It's the Florida man. That's every time you have that article. It's just another guy in Florida.
Yeah, all those articles are just about Bigfoot.
Yeah, they're like, we know that guy. Why are y'all trying to find him?
He
lives in those
exists
huts over there. He's my boy. We have beer every Friday.
All right. But okay, so in Florida and other southern states, he's called the skunk ape. And they attribute that because they think, or that a lot of sightings say that he has a foul odor, or she has a foul odor.
Did they try smelling themselves? It's probably because they stink. Okay.
No, they're
not
just
Florida people, just people who are looking for them, you know?
Yeah, and they're just blaming Bigfoot. This is why he doesn't want to show up, because they're just
They
like,
were
"You stink."
embarrassed. They're like, oh, what's like there was two people hunting, and then one guy's like, ooh, what's that smell? God knows it's his BO. So he's like, oh, must be
It's
Bigfoot. Must be that skunk man.
Yeah, skunk ape. Come on, man. All right, and then in Ohio, he's named the Grass Man.
All right, okay, sure.
And then in Arkansas, the Fook Monster. I don't know if I'm saying that first.
I feel like we have to bleep that again, man. Why you gotta say that?
It's Fuke. Is it? Yeah, it's Fook. The Wood Booger in Virginia.
Tell me the real ones, because these all sound made up right now.
No, they're all real. In Whitehall, New York, he's called the Monster of Whitehall. In Missouri, he's called Momo. That's kind of cute.
Isn't Momo that really scary doll? From like
Yeah, that too. So I don't know. I didn't think of that. Maybe not.
You don't see what I'm thinking is this is kind of weird because like y'all don't think Sasquatch can travel that well, can he?
We'll talk about that.
Like, what is he doing? Like, he's not taking the train or anything.
I think their idea is that it's not just one big foot; it's big feet.
So there's a lot of them, but for some reason, none of us have ever actually been able to capture one. How curious.
Because they're like strong. You know what? Let's move on.
Because it's all made up.
Okay, I still have a bunch of names to go, Jeremy.
God damn, how many more names do we need?
We're like 4 more. Okay, in Louisiana, he's called the Honey Island Swamp Monster. It's pretty long. Look, it's the Honey Island Swamp Monster. The next one, he's called the Dewey Lake Monster in Michigan. So,
you know, lake monsters sound better than the skunk boy or whatever it was.
Skunk ape.
It's whatever.
And he's also called the Mogollon Monster in Arizona. I don't know what Mogollon is. It kind of sounds like Megalodon.
So the Mogollon is a Native American tribe.
Oh, okay. Well, that's cool.
So that's probably why it's in Arizona too.
Okay, that makes sense.
Has a huge population there.
Okay, that makes sense. And then finally, in Southern Illinois, he's called the Big Muddy Monster. So there's a lot more that are out there, but those were the ones that I commonly found or were across the United States. In other parts of the world, he also has other names, or Bigfoot has other names.
How about we just ask them what they want to be called, huh?
Yeah, that too. But then, you know, they're elusive.
Are they like that, or are they just not real?
Okay. All right. Second question. So there was actually an FBI investigation into the realness of the Bigfoot. There was an actual investigation by the Federal Bureau of Investigation of the United States if Bigfoot is real or not. And this was because there was a sample sent to them that consisted of 15 hairs that this person claimed that it belonged to Bigfoot. But the FBI actually investigated it, and it did not belong to some creature called the Bigfoot. And it actually belonged to some other animal. Can you guess what animal it belonged to?
So that's it. That's all I'm getting. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna get like where it was from, where the guy was from, or something.
No. It was 15 hairs attached to a tiny piece of skin. That was a direct quote.
Okay. And it wasn't like was it white hairs, blonde hairs?
No, I'm not gonna give you color. I think it was dark brown, maybe. Like how Bigfoot looks, or what he's depicted to look like. Right.
I'm gonna say bear.
And this was.
Answer.
Oh, is that your? Okay.
No, wait, what? No, keep it going. Wait, no.
No, that's not gonna help you.
Hint.
This was in like they sent in the sample in '76, and then they came up with the results in '97. Or sorry,
they didn't
77, 1977.
Yeah, they didn't have bears back then, so it couldn't have been that.
Wait.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I'm just gonna say bear. I can't think of anybody else. I'm thinking for sure an animal. It could be like an elk, maybe something bigger like that. But I'm gonna say bear.
Are elks the one with the huge antlers, or is that a moose?
Yeah.
I get
moose
confused.
is definitely. What's the plural name for a moose?
Meese. I think it's just moose. It's because the English language is so stupid. They just come up with weird stuff with animals. Mises? I like mises.
Oh, it's just moose. To answer your previous question, moose do have the really large antlers. Elks are not the same as moose. They're a little smaller. They can have long antlers, but they're not as big as moose.
Okay,
for sure.
But they can kill you. They can kill us.
I mean, I feel like they're like slightly bigger deer, you know?
Okay.
Anyways, my answer is not an elk. It's bear.
I've never seen an elk.
Get over the elk, man.
Reindeers are real, so have antlers.
Reindeers are better than people.
Okay, all right. Disney's gonna kill us. All right. So your answer was bear, right? You were wrong. If you stuck with the elk stuff, you'd be pretty close.
Is it moose?
No. So they determined their scientific conclusion was the hairs are of deer family origin. So they just like said it was deer, but if it's the deer family, it could be from like also elk.
Yeah.
So you were talking about earlier, does Bigfoot travel? Does he get on the train and like people are just seeing him everywhere? And there's actually been a lot of sightings of him all over the United States and actually all over the world too. But let's focus on the United States first because come on, we're the best. Anyways. Oh my God. So can you name the states where Bigfoot is most commonly sighted? Or most of the reported sightings are within these states. So 6 states has over 800 reported sightings of Bigfoot. Can you name those states?
Arkansas.
Okay. Why Arkansas?
I don't know. They seem like a people who would, we
love you, Arkansas.
Now, see, my question is, like, I kind of feel like it could just be the ones that you said, right? Because, like, they have names for them, so I feel like they would have a lot of sightings. So I'm going to say Florida.
Okay.
Let's say Virginia. I want to say it's, like, places that have a lot of trees. So, like, I'm kind of feeling like a Dakota, you know?
Where's Dakota?
North and South Dakota.
Oh, the Dakotas. Okay. So that's 4. You just named 4 states. Okay. 2 more.
All right. We'll do Ohio, and I don't know. Let's put Wisconsin.
Okay. Well, you didn't get any of the states, but that's fine.
Damn.
So Bigfoot sightings have actually been more associated with the Pacific Northwest because that's where a lot of the origins of Bigfoot has happened. And that's where like the name Bigfoot originated from actually is from the Pacific Northwest. We'll get into it in the second round, but I thought you knew that, but it's fine.
I didn't know that. But hey, no, I was correct in the sense that I knew that it should be somewhere where there's a lot of woods. And I know Pacific Northwest does have a lot of forests,
really woody
nature.
Yeah,
where you could find big feet, you know.
So yeah, you were wrong. The actual states. So this is according to the BFRO. Can you guess what BFRO stands for?
Bigfoot Research Organization.
Oh yeah. It's
nice.
It's Bigfoot Field Researchers Organization.
Oh.
That's what BFRO is. And they have a real website. It's a little 90s looking, but it's fine.
Yeah, that's because they don't got funding because everyone knows it's fake.
They're still reporting sightings. So if you ever want to report a sighting, talking to the listeners, go on bfro.net.
All right, see, now you know it's not a good one, man. They got a .net, man. They couldn't even get a .com. They can't afford a .com.
No,
that's why.
No. But yeah, according to bfro.net, there's been over thousands of reported sightings everywhere in the world. And the top states in the United States with reported sightings have been Washington, which has over 2,000 reported sightings, California, which has over 1,600, Pennsylvania, New York, which is like randomly in the east, not in the Pacific Northwest. But Oregon has a bunch of sightings, and then Texas for some reason, because of course Bigfoot is Texas.
I kind of feel like the pattern I'm hearing is that it's just big states, just states that either one have a lot of nature, but two just have a lot of people.
Oh,
see, I feel like maybe the more people you have, just the more crazy people you also have, and then the people who are saying they saw Bigfoot.
Or big feet, like a bustling community. A bustling community, not busting. I'm sorry.
Ooh, dang. Ooh. Find me one of those communities.
A bustling community. They like the livelihood of the city.
Interesting.
But yeah, there's also been reported sightings in other countries other than the United States. Can you name where there be a lot of sightings of Bigfoot or big feet?
Himalayas.
That's correct. You're right. I'm just gonna say it. Yeah,
nice.
that's nice. Yeah, you're good. The Himalayan region is one of them.
Because that's the Yetis. But that's it. That's where
that's
it. I don't know any other place. What else has a lot of nature?
A lot of trees, man. Woody.
Ooh, yeah, Africa. Africa's got lots of rainforest. I'm gonna say the rainforest kind of area. So Africa and South America.
Okay, so no.
That's a big really? Oh
no. There's been a lot of sightings in Canada, most notably in British Columbia and Manitoba. I like that word, Manitoba.
Manitoba.
And then there's been one reported sighting in Australia.
God damn! I knew it. I was thinking, I was like, God, I swear, Australia's gonna say some shit. Like, they're gonna make up something crazy.
And then China. There's been multiple sightings of Bigfoot in China. They probably saw pandas, but it's fine.
I mean, it's right next to the Himalayas, like India, China.
There's some in Indonesia, Malaysia, kind of random.
Where are they? Like, you haven't explored all of that. Like, the country is so small.
He travels. He books a flight. I don't know.
Like, how is Bigfoot getting over there? I don't think this is. I feel like they're just seeing hairy guys and they're just surprised.
Yeah.
Like, they're not used to seeing a lot of hairy people, man.
Yeah, my quest for trying to convince you that Bigfoot is real is not doing so hot. And then there's also been sightings in Russia. But yeah, that's it for the first round of questions about Bigfoot. Why don't we take a break and let me do more research?
I'm going to get on that bfro.net and let's see if I can find me some more information on Bigfoot.
Please donate. They need an update.
Hello?
Hi. I'm just calling today to see...
Who is this?
This is Shane from the Good Game Guys.
I'm not interested.
I haven't even told you what it's about yet.
Take me off your list.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Son of a...
Devon, these cold calls aren't working, and I feel stupid.
All I want is to get people excited about our show, The Good Game Guys, being available every Sunday morning on Apple, Spotify, Google, or wherever they get their podcasts. Because how else are people going to know that we cover the latest in video game news and do routine interviews with some of the best folks in the podcast community? They won't unless I make more calls. So...
Hello?
Hi, this is Shane from the Good Game Guys. How are you today? Follow us on Twitter at Good Game Guys Pod.
All right, and we are back.
So Clint, I checked out BFRO, and man, it's a pretty old looking website. But there's ways to contact them. So I might, if I ever see Bigfoot, I might just do that.
How do you contact them? I need to know.
Actually, something that was crazy is that there's a number that you can call, and it's a 408 number. And for those who don't know what that is, that's a number in San Jose. So that's an area code over here in California.
Oh, not San Jose, Argentina.
And so, yeah, I mean, if anyone wants to call the 408 number, hey, let us know what happens. And if you see anything, contact BFRO. There's a submit form that you can try to, open up the research and figure out who this Sasquatch really is.
Okay. Why did you have to say it like that? Why do you
Sasquatch?
God. All right. Speaking of that word. All right, let's get into our second round, Jeremy. And we're gonna talk about the origins of Bigfoot. The actual name of the name Bigfoot is actually pretty recent. Back in like ancient history, like Native American history, there's been talks of like a big hairy creature, ape-like creature, and then they had different names of it. And like in different cultures had different names in different countries. But the name Bigfoot came to be in 1958. And this came to be in Humboldt County, California. Yeah.
You know what? I'm not surprised because we know in Humboldt there's a lot of happening.
What are you doing there?
I'm just pinching something real close to my mouth. That's all I'm saying.
All right. And this happened in the Six Rivers National Forest in Humboldt County, California.
Yep. Those campers doing a lot of
Okay. So can you guess how this happened? Like, what did they discover? Who discovered it? And how did this whole Bigfoot phenomena become popular?
Okay, well,
I'm not giving you a lot here, but you just
know. I know. I can sense that. And based on the name, obviously, they found some tracks.
Oh,
all right. And those tracks that were like 12 inches or something. Like they were just surprised. They'd never seen a giant with big feet before. Because in Humboldt, California, there's only really people with small feet. I feel like it probably wasn't even that big of a foot. Like it was probably only like 10 inches or something. Like it was probably a normal size, but for them, because they've never seen big feet, it was just like, wow. Anyways, so they saw footprints. Who? It's got to be a guy. I feel like guys are the crazy ones who are just don't know what's happening.
What was he doing in the forest? Like, why he in the forest?
Some weed.
Okay.
He was doing some LSD and smoking weed, dude. Actually, this was in the 50s, so this LSD might not have been prone yet.
1958. He had a responsibility to be there. That's my hint. When was the LSD thing that happened in the military? Was he one of the test subjects? Anyways, his responsibility, maybe he was a ranger. Maybe, I feel like he worked for the army. I'm going to stick with the army thing. So he was part of the army, trying to protect the coast or something. Right after the Second World War, and he thought he had some free time, smoked a joint, saw some feet. Okay. Yeah. And then how did it spread? Like, how did the rest of the country know about it?
Well, when you smoke a joint, you gotta share with people. All right. So he's just telling stories. He's like, hey, pass the blunt, but let me tell you about this guy with some big ass feet.
Okay. Wow.
Okay,
yeah.
I kind of feel like that's not how that happened. At
least maybe
how not. So I'm gonna say he probably put it in the paper or something. Like it was probably like he took a picture of it and he was like, "Wow, crazy!"
He printed it himself.
We're trying to find it, and then newspaper organizations got into it. It's what it is today.
Okay, all right. We both got real high at the end there, but I'll give you like half credit, 50%. All right,
I'll take it.
So it was a dude that found it.
Classic, obviously. That part I had no doubt.
And you were right. It was a track. It was a human-like footprint that he saw, and it was a large footprint. You said 12 inches, and that sounded real weird that you said that.
12 inches.
You said 12 inches. You're kind of close. It was 16.
That's not that close. God damn, 16 inches.
That's 4 inches off. That's close.
You show. I mean, some people, I'm sure, like, 1 or 2 people have size 16 feet.
So yeah, he found this human-like footprint sunk deep within the mud in the forest, and then he told his coworkers about it. and he was actually there because it's part of a logging company. He's a logger.
Okay.
So he wasn't a test subject, or I don't know what else you said. There wasn't mention of any drugs. I'm not gonna definitely saying there wasn't any drugs because it's Humboldt, California. So we all know what goes on there. But yeah, he told his coworkers about it, and they were like, "Yo, there's some weird things happening at our job site. There was this oil drum that weighs 450 pounds that just moved out of nowhere. What was going on? It must be some ape-like creature called Bigfoot that moved it."
Who moved it?
But I mean, 450 pounds being moved, explanation, it's okay. I get it.
Have they ever heard of rolling?
It just rolled over.
Yeah, like it's an oil drum, you know? It's a little cylinder. You just it just falls over.
But yeah, when they started talking amongst each other, they started getting paranoid, and they're like, some weird creature is here in the forest, and we might die, and maybe someone's playing a prank on them. But it was scary because, there was the footprints, and then there was some weird stuff that was happening. So they then contacted a reporter named Andrew Ginzoli.
Yes, because that's how you always have to say it.
And he is a reporter for the Humboldt Times. Such a prestigious newspaper. And he was residing in the nearby city of Eureka, which is close to the forest.
I know that.
And then Ginzoli interviewed the workers, the lumber workers, and then he wrote several articles about the mysterious footprints. And they coined the term Bigfoot. It got popular, and then a bunch of more popular newspapers like the New York Times took it, and then it spread like wildfire. And that's how the story of Bigfoot came to be. And that's why a lot of the sightings are within the Pacific Northwest, because it started in Northern California, and then a lot of people are saying that they saw it, but there's not a lot of photographs of Bigfoot. There's that famous video. I don't know if you've seen it. He looks back kind of thing. There's been a lot of investigation into the video, but there hasn't been a definitive answer if it's real or not. So that's kind of interesting. If it's fake, they would be like, it's fake. But if it's,
I don't think it was edited, but the thing is that it could be someone in a costume. Yeah. Or it could just be a normal guy. I feel like some of these, I feel
based on the picture, it don't look like a normal guy.
Well, obviously not a normal guy, but I feel like there's always some people who want to just live in the woods and go away from society. And I feel like some of these accusations and some of these notices might be from people finding out about these weird woodsmen who like to just shy away from society. And, if you're not with anybody, you might not be shaven anymore and you might be pretty hairy. So I feel like Bigfoot could be a thing. Not like a mythical creature thing, but a person.
Okay, well, we'll get to it. But yeah, that video is from the 70s. So if anyone's interested, it's on YouTube. You guys can look it up. Bigfoot video. It's the famous video where they get a clear video of him or her. And yeah, my final question isn't an actual question. My question is that, do you just believe Bigfoot is real? And you kind of explained it already, but let's dig deep into it. What do you think is going on with all these sightings? And what are those footprints then? What are those 16-inch footprints, Jeremy? And what is that video? It looks pretty real to me.
I'm gonna say no. My evidence is that no one's been able to catch it. And there's a lot of people who've made television stuff of these things. It's as much real as ghosts. Ghosts could be real, but we don't really have good proof to get that to be actually shown.
But what about that ghost behind you?
No. But what they're saying is that Bigfoot doesn't really have any superpowers. So there's no reasoning why Bigfoot can't be found. When we discover new animals, we don't really discover large things unless they're in the ocean. Nowadays, we just find small ass insects and frogs. A giant ass size 16 footprint creature, I don't think it would be able to hide very well unless it had some superpowers.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
All right. So I'm looking at the BFRO trying to see, maybe my answers could be refuted. I looked up, why aren't there any more photos? And in the FAQs, it says FAQs not found. So how about you, Clint? What do you think?
I'm like in the middle. I don't think the way they say his like behavior, like he's this scary big monster that kills people or like hurts people is real. I think there could be a chance, like there could be a giant ape-like creature that we haven't found because there's so much to discover in the world. We barely know 50% of what's going on in like on land. We still haven't discovered a bunch of things. And especially like deep forest. I don't know if we've discovered a bunch.
Like I could see that with tropical rainforest. People always think like, oh, we can fly over it, we can just look down. But the thing is that with rainforests, the ones that have a large canopy cover, like leaves and trees are actually really huge and they actually like cover a lot. But the thing is that you can't really even see the bottom of the ground. So that's why in rainforest you can't really discover everything unless you walk through it. So that I could see that. But with forests like the Pacific Midwest, I kind of feel like it's a little bit easier to see.
To just go
like you
through
could
it.
kind of see things, you know, it's not as covered. But that could be an answer. Maybe that might be a little bit harder to find.
Yeah, like I wouldn't be surprised if tomorrow the FBI is like, he's real, guys. We just been hiding it. But I also wouldn't be surprised if it's like, definitely not real. All the sightings are false. But it's just like, I get torn. But so like this video, they've never definitively said it's fake or like it's a hoax because there's been a lot of investigation into it. And it seems like a lot of things could be real based on the video. But it's just like, it's one video. And then like directors of the video or like the people that shot it have never said anything about it. And there's just a lot of like gray area. I'm in the middle.
I kind of want it to be real just because that'd be kind of cool, right? Like I don't believe in it, but I feel like it'd be cool to just see because then there'll be more research. It's kind of cool when you find new things, just like how space is really interesting for people because we haven't like been able to explore that much yet.
Or the
just
deep
like
sea.
that, I kind of feel like, yeah, if we could go in, I feel like deep sea is fascinating. Do I want to go into it? No. But it's fascinating.
Just like the ancient history, like there's been cave drawings of like ape-like creatures. And I mean, history is exaggerated, but there could be an inkling based on like ancient history, but history is exaggerated. But I don't know. But it's leading towards he's not real.
Here, I'll end it with this. I feel like one of the reports is real. Like one of the reports might actually have been about a person that we haven't discovered yet, or some sort of bear or whatever animal that we have never discovered, and they actually found something very weird. But I feel like majority is just other people freaking out because they thought of something and they're like, oh, must be this Bigfoot thing that I've heard about. I don't think that there's a Bigfoot in every single part of the US and in other parts of the world. I think that's too much.
But yeah, we want to end on a funny note because this is a comedy podcast. Say something funny, Jeremy.
Say Squatch.
Okay, all right. Well, that's it for our Bigfoot episode. I hope you guys learned something. I hope you learned something, Jeremy. Maybe I convinced you a little bit that Bigfoot might be real. I don't feel like I did, but yeah, let's end this episode. Jeremy, take us home.
All right, well, guys, or should I say the know-it-alls?
Ooh, I like that.
Anyways, thanks for listening. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Know This Trivia. Please rate us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts and review our podcast too. It really helps us out here. And if you have any questions and suggestions or anything you'd like to just tell us, you can always email us at theknowthispodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah, and if you have a Bigfoot sighting, email us too.
Yeah, at bfro.net.
No, I want it to be us, Jeremy. I want to see it. If there's pictures of Bigfoot, send it to us.
If you have pictures or something, if you can give us physical evidence and something that I can't dispute, we will put it on the podcast. We will make it worldwide. We'll make it known. We will be the Humboldt Times that skyrockets it into the public media.
Okay, I'm going to end this. Cover art by Amy Hoffman. Music by Karthik Prabhakaran. Edited and produced by Clint Valencia and Jeremy Mack. See you guys in 2 weeks.
See ya.